Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahasham, Ba'ashem Alawako. That's double honor, son to the elder apostles, a great milestone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere outcome across the world. Now, I wanted to do a video with the word that has been hijacked, with the words alpha male and beta male, and also the word romantic, because to be romantic is actually to be in a Roman or a Greek relationship where you are the male with a beard and then you have a little boy, right? And I'm gonna read all that. That's being romantic, and because they hated women, and right, they used to see them as second-class citizens, and only a boy was better than a female, more superior even, they said. And also the word alpha male and beta male. Alpha was the dominant penetrator, and beta male was the submissive receiver, right? So yeah, this is the title of this article. I'm not gonna read too much because it's nonsense, because what they're trying to do also is they're trying to trick you into making you think that being a beta male is actually good, especially in nowadays society, because they want to have effeminate men. So when they come for that war, you're going to be an effeminate man, your son is going to be an effeminate man, and then it's like taking candy from a baby when they're coming to fight you, because you're the first one to scream, ah, my nipples, stuff like that. So it says here, what does it mean to be a man? Questions. More specifically, what does it mean to be a man in the USA? Yeah, you better say that. In Spain, among Native American communities. There are so many different factors, right? Because being a sodomite is a edomite culture. It's their thing. Predominantly. Both culture and otherwise, they are embedded in this question. No, they're not. You're imposing a question on them, because if you go to places like Africa and stuff like that, when you ask them what is a man, what do you mean what is a man? Certain places they don't know this nonsense binary crap. I don't even know what binary is, and I do it on purpose. I don't want to know because it doesn't exist. I don't know what it means. So yeah, I think of how you call the thing? I think of PC things and stuff like that when I hear binary, But what does masculinity look like around the world, and what similarities present themselves? And more importantly, what does how we talk about it? And more important, what does we talk about it? An attempt to explain any behaviors using biology. Biology. Or speak of men in terms of alpha and beta. Say about us. In Are Men Animals? How modern masculinity sells men short. Right, because first and foremost, this alpha and beta thing, that's a beast-like thing, man. That's thing that animals do. Fatherly spoke to Goodman about why explaining away masculinity with biology doesn't help anyone. See, that's their culture, that's their ways. Why the term alpha male means nothing. It means something because it goes back to I'm gonna get into it. Because the Greeks came with democracy, and then you're gonna find out what democracy means. I've got it right here. It means nothing. And why men compare themselves to wolves? No, Edomites compare themselves to wolves and chimpanzees, more dominantly chimpanzees. But the funny part is when they do heart transplant or organ transplant to put in people, they use pigs. Why don't you use the one that is so-called close to you? Why don't you do that? Because you finna get some diseases. See, that pig, you can kind of control it still. But if a chimpanzee or an ape was that close to humans, as you say, then why don't you use their organs? It's not only severely limiting, it's also extremely misguiding. Yes, it is. You see, there's a lot of bones up in here. I don't want to read it because it's a feces, right? So it says here, I think again, ultimately excuses men being in charge. It's saying that there's something biological, that men have a need to be in charge, and females have a need for men to be in charge. And since the successful men are alpha, It's a problem on so many different levels, yeah, because this word alpha goes back to homosexuality. I'm gonna show it right. Let me see. Let me see here. Wait, let me read on. On one, it's actually healthier in many species to be a beta male. You see what they want to create of you? They want to make you the female, and that's what they do in society also, by pumping up articles like this to make you think that it's scientifically backed up and stuff like that, which the word science means knowledge. That's all it means. It doesn't mean technology. And you can make technology out of science. Why? Because you have that knowledge, right? So a tree is science. You don't have nearly the same levels of stress. It can be measured through cortisol levels. Beta males among chimps are a lot healthier in many respects. They don't have everyone attacking them. There are even some studies that say that they have more sex. That's that's just funny in itself. Everybody knows that beta males don't have a lot of sex. Well, the modern day called beta males and stuff like that. But anyway, there's a lot of nonsense up in here, but I'm gonna go to here. Now it shows you the myth of the alpha male. All right, let me put in here. What does beta mean? Here's the second letter. Yeah, you come next, basically. Right. Alpha is first, beta is second. Alpha male definition in people. The dominant male animal in a particular group. See, they want to already associate you with a beast, which is what you are if you don't have the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. You can read the book of Psalms 73. A subordinate male animal in the group. Basically, you're a subby. Basically, it says a man tending to assume a passive or subservient, meaning you're a servant, role in social or professional situations, also in relationships. An alpha male is a man tending to assume a dominant or domineering role in social or professional situations. Now, remember these definition of these words, right? So it says here, the myth of the alpha male. Alpha males are those at the top of the social status hierarchy. They have greater access to power, money, and mates, which they gain through physical prowess, intimidation, and domination, right? Because you can trick people. Alphas are typically described as real men. Also, don't forget this word, real men, okay? Real men, remember that word. They're seen as real men. In contrast are the beta males, the weak, which are not seen as real men. Submissive, passive, subordinate guys who are low status. Also remember everything that I'm reading here, and I'll keep it here too, by the way, just to reference, come back to it and stuff like that. And only get access to mates. Check this. Watch this out too. They only get access to mates once women decide to settle down and go searching for a nice guy. And what does the word nice mean? The word nice, the etymology of the word nice means foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless, careless, clumsy, weak, stupid. Poor, needy, simple, stupid. Yeah, I jumped like four words. Just silly, foolish. Ignorant, which means unknowing, unaware, literally not knowing. That's what a nice guy is. That's why a lot of females, they dislike nice guys, because they look at you, but they don't even know the meaning of the word. But they do look at you because females look at you like, I want his DNA, or I want his money. I want something that he has. But a man, he just wants you to use, put you on your knees and do stuff to you. Fun stuff, flip you around, toss you around. Stuff like that, right? So, and then they so-called want to put the science behind the dominance or whatever. And by the word science, let's get it out the way, because they want to come all smart and stuff like that. Science. Yeah. It says here, translate. And then you go to the Latin. Where is it? Here. Because Romans spoke Latin. So what is scientia?
Shade, yeah.
Scientia, which means knowledge, science, skill, expertness, awareness. You're aware. You know stuff. So you're not lacking. You're not ignorant. You're not stupid. You're not behind. Did I click that thing away? I clicked it. I clicked it away. Yeah, I clicked it away. I shouldn't have clicked it away. Right. Here. It's basically you are, if you are a scientific man, you are not a nice guy. But you're not stupid. Because you can think. It doesn't mean have a white suit on and go in and split atoms just to make a bomb to kill yourself. Or work in a laboratorium to do stuff and stuff like that. Now here you have eromenos. In ancient Greek, an eromenos was the passive or receptive partner in a male sodomy relationship. The partner of an erotic, menos, menopause, was this thing over here. The older and active partner, right? The was often depicted as a beautiful and smaller and more youthful looking than the Aristus. Right. Okay, I only wanted that. And then I'm going to go to the next. Now, the Greeks are the ones that created democracy. So what does democracy mean? It's all about rulership, right? Democracy means government governed by the people, system of government in which the sovereign power is vested in the people as a whole, exercising power directly or by elected officials, a state so governed. So the funny part is they're basically ruling over you. That's democracy. You have a small elected officials that are the boss over you. From the Greek word demokratia, whatever, popular government, from demos, common people, originally district, see demotic. Kratos, like in the game, rule, strength, and see krasi. Right, so I clicked on this word, demotic, of or belonging to the people, especially pertaining to the common people, popular, vulgar, originally district, from demos, common people. And then what are they going to do? They're going to rule over you. That's the point. So now krasi, rule or governed by. Krasi, power, might, rule, creator, strength, So, in short term, this word means that you're going to rule over people, and then you're going to be a few elected ones that are going to rule over the people, and you're going to exercise power directly over the people, right? And even Yahushua said, that the heathen exercise power over each other. Matthew 20 and 25. Right, so it says here, Matthew 20 and 24, no, 25. But Yahushua called them unto him and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. But don't go and tell the king, for example, hey, you serve me. Because the king is serving the people, yes. But don't go too bold. Don't go bold at all. Not even too bold. Just don't go bold at all talking about, hey, man, you supposed to serve me. If you do what I tell you to do, you finna die that same day. Because you can't do that. There is a respect and there is a hierarchy within the Hebrew Israelites, but not like the heathens do as a beast. You know what I'm saying? You telling your Hebrew servant, for example, I'm talking about the back in the days. You telling them like, yo, why don't you Don't you clean my feces with your bare hands and stuff like that. We don't do stuff like that. I saw this Chinese movie back in the days that a little Chinese boy, he told his servant to drink his piss, and he drank it out of a plate. He drank his piss out of a plate. I'll never forget that scene. And then later on, when he got old, he needed glasses. You know, I don't know what the movie is. I was too young to actually remember, to know what I was looking at. But I saw it only one time. Never forgot it again. But yeah, so that's that part. So we do have authority, and we have a hierarchy, and we have that we obey and we listen to the men that are above us, but not like how the heathen do. So that's another story. It's a difference, right? You had pedestry back in the ancient Greece time, which pedestry is this. Pedestry in ancient Greece was socially acknowledged romantic relationship between an older man, the Aristates, and the younger male, the Menos, usually in his teens. Yeah, they actually had little children, because later on in the video, I'm going to read to you that as soon as they got hair in their butt cheeks, then I have to say it like that because that is what it says. So sorry about that. As soon as they get hair down there, then they start, letting them loose and go find another child. So it's nothing with the teen. It's bullshit. They're trying to actually minimize the damage associated, the stigma associated to it. That's why nowadays they're training the little children to accept sexuality very young, giving them internet, giving them access to the porno. If you have a daughter or a son and you have them having a phone, you might as well introduce them to porn yourself. You know. So yeah, I didn't really read anything here because it's pedophilia. Right, romance means gay love and stuff like that, right? So now here comes the horrible part of this video, which I'm trying to read through it as fast as possible because it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Now it says here, concerning the dominant role and the passive role of the alpha male and the beta male, and also the romantic thing. So next time when your girl tells you, why don't you be a little more, stab her in the neck with a dull knife. Don't really do it. Just let her know. But anyway, it says here, sodomy in ancient Rome. The primary dichotomy of ancient Rome sexuality was active dominant masculine and passive submissive feminine males. It's going to go on to say that it was males, because I'm reading here, because it's talking about, the conquest mentally of and cult of virility shaped same-sex relations. Roman men were free to enjoy intercourse with other males without perceived loss, of masculinity or social status, as long as they took the dominant, which is alpha, or penetrative role, which is alpha, right? Acceptable male partners were slaves and former slaves, prostitutes, male prostitutes, by the way, and entertainers, which are dancers. Which one of you can tell me that a lot of these sodomites, they don't like to dance? And it's going to explain here also in this thing that these sodomites were dancing. They was dancers, man. And then if you are a dancer, then they could see that you are professional dancer. Here it says it here, dancing was an expression of male impudicitia, whatever it is. I know what it is, but however you pronounce it. But what does that mean? This thing, it means, this is the word, the abstract noun, this word over here, was the negation of this word over here, sexually morally chastised. As a characteristic of males, this thing is a characteristic of males, it often implies the willingness to be penetrated. Dancing was an expression of male impudicitia. I don't know how you pronounce it. I never heard it before. But then, yeah, yeah, right. So that's why you have a lot of these sodomites. You know, when they go dancing with the stars. You know, they have these. Yeah, look, yeah. I don't have to click on it. You just look at the way that they dance, the way that they look, the way that they dance, the way that they look. You already know, like, oh, this guy. I don't think he's. I don't think he's on the right side though. I think he left. He's a lefty, right? So let me read on. I don't want to read the too much vulgar stuff because there's a lot of vulgar stuff around here. So I'm trying to speed it up. Whose lifestyle placed them in the nebulous social realm of infamia, excluded from the normal protection according to a citizen, even if they were technically free, if they do that sodomy thing. Although Roman men in general seem to have preferred youths between the age of 12 and 20 years, 20 as sexual partners, freeborn males were off limits at certain periods in Rome. So not all the time. Though professional prostitutes and entertainers might retain sexual availability well into adulthood because they are not really people. Now it says here in the Greek magical papyro, which is a book or something like that. It says, yeah, it's a book. It's a book. Right, yeah, here. Which attests to the existence of individual females in Roman-ruled provinces in the later imperial period who fell in love with members of the same sex. That goes into the island of Lesbos. So basically, I'll try to make another video about that. But then the island of Lesbos is, and I have it here somewhere, right? But I'm going to talk about it real quick. The island of Lesbos is actually basically the root place of where the word rest Lesbos come from. Because it literally is called the island of Lesbos. Because they was kind of banned toward there because these Roman men banned them to there to a certain degree because they didn't really want to have anything to do with them. Right. So it says here, overview. Here comes the kind of vulgar part. Roman society was patriarchal, which is manly, and masculinity was premised on the capacity for governing oneself and others of lower status. There goes the word democracy again. There goes the word dominance again, dominating over people, right? Which Yahushua said that the heathen love to express their power over the people, but we as Israelites don't do that among each other. We shouldn't, even though our people still do it. Valor, remember this word valor, right? As that which made a man most fully a man. And it's also spelled vir, V-I-R, vir, as in vigor or virtus, virtus, was among the active vertices, meaning the one that do stuff, right? The one that is given. So it says here, scholars have tended to view expressions of Roman male sexuality in terms of penetrator, which is alpha, and penetrated, which is beta male, right? The proper way for a Roman male to seek sexual gratification. Oh shit! Yeah, there comes the shit. Okay, yeah. I forgot it because I read it only one time. I'm not gonna read this again. I'm telling you, right? Allowing himself to be, goofed, threaten his liberty as a free citizen and stuff like that. That type of nonsense. But we have penalties for that. It's called death, right? So it says here, both, the reason, let me get this out of here first because I'm going to buck crazy. Buck wild. Now it says here, the book of Rome, the reason, since I was younger, I always thought of myself like, I ain't going to call myself an alpha male because it's stupid. I don't want to be some kind of alpha or beta male. I don't belong in that category. So, as I was young, I had a wild imagination. I would say I'm Proto Man. Now, Proto Man is actually a character from a game. The reason why I said no, then I'd rather be proto man. You be the alpha, you be the beta, and I'll be the prototype, because he's actually prototype man, right? So the reason I did that in my mind is to actually distance myself from that nonsense that I don't believe in. So I had my own mind. Yeah, not that I'm stubborn. I was just playing games, man. How young was I? I don't even know anymore. It was in the 1990s somewhere and stuff like that. Not in the 1990 itself. It was more like in maybe what, 92, 93. I don't know. 93. I think it was 93 or something, or 92. But yeah. So I was playing games, and because later, the reason I said that also is because he's the first prototype, and by the way, red was my favorite color back in the days. I grew past that, by the way. Now I got more colors that I really love. And then what was I saying? Yeah, because Mega Man, he was actually the blue guy, but he was actually the second one made, and he was made perfect, right? Well, in the game, he was made perfect. He was made better, because prototype, he was actually, yeah, the first one. So it didn't really, it worked out good because he was stronger, but still he was evil. And then the blue one was the good guy, which is based on aura, because red is most likely very fiery and blue is very calm. Doesn't mean he's a sissy. He's just very calm. He controls himself better. So yeah. So I based it off of that. And later on, I looked up the word proto. What does it mean? Right? And it says here, original or primitive, first or earliest. And then I typed in prototype, because that is actually what I wanted to be. I'm like, okay, I'll already be a prototype then. Then I found out like a first or preliminary version of a device or vehicle from which other forms are developed. Fast forward to 2007. That's when I found out that, shit, I am not prototype, because Yahweh Shai is the first, and where everything else comes from. But I didn't mean it like that. I still like the word prototype. I keep it. But in due all respect, the Heavenly Father knows I'm not trying to steal no position. It's just something that I had that I was young, and I found it very good to stabilize my mind away from the nonsense beta and male beta and alpha nonsense. Right. So it says here, because back in the days I could not explain it. Now we have the internet, and now I started searching out stuff, and I found it. So I found the way to explain myself, because, well, I'm going to read it with the scriptures, because I only had it in my head. Daniel chapter 12 verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Knowledge is being increased. Romans chapter 10 verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a seal of the Heavenly Father, but not according to knowledge. Right. So I had that seal in my head that I would never try to be romantic. I found it stupid. Never trusted that word. I just hated it. It was dumb to me. You know, if I saw a love scene and they're trying to be fast forward, it was bullshit. It just irritated me. I just wanted to, you know. And also that alpha and beta thing. I looked at it like, this is the dumbest shit that I've ever seen. But now I know, through the knowledge, that's out, of course, that it actually goes back to the sodomy. Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So these Edomites that call themselves Romans, they would think that if they are the penetrator, nothing would happen, and they could keep their social status and all that type of nonsense. And if they are the one that is receiving, then he's the one that's actually a sodomite. I have seen this in little nigga jails, because I have to say it like that. You have guys in jail, they be raping on little boys when they come into jail. Even the Edomites do it. But you have guys in jails that be raping dudes, But they in the interview they say I ain't gay. I ain't gay. I just ain't a woman over here, so I do what I need